Hello, vinyl community. Haven't done a video from the cave in a while, so I'm going to do one here. I've had this idea in my head for about a week. Started out by starting to read this, Bound for Glory, the autobiography, Woody Guthrie. This is an amazing book. I bought this. It's relevant. He's music. He's the stalwart of Americana folk. But I bought this book at a thrift shop where I usually buy, used records. And this was there for $1 or 50 cents, whatever. And I never read it, or I don't remember reading it. But it's well worth it. So I got into this. A good friend of mine, who we'll talk about later on this year, is a friend of Woody's son, ARLO. And ARLO was just in town or in the state touring, and I wasn't able to go. It's too much going on. A couple of my friends went. The friend I just talked about, another friend that we'll talk about, a good friend of mine, big folk, big rock guy. He went and said it was a great concert. Actually took some pictures with ARLO. So I'm going to do a little video about Alice's Restaurant's Massacre, I guess it's called. The movie, basically, not the soundtrack, not the original record in 1967 on reprise, but the movie. And I'm just going to start with this quote from Godfather 2, Michael Corleone to his brother Fredo. It's not easy to be a son, Fredo. It's not easy. Okay, now I've always remembered that quote, and I quote it quite a bit whenever one of my friends are having problems. Their fathers are disappointed. Their fathers are successful. You'll never be equal to your dad, which is the case in America today. Just because of the economy, most kids don't make what their fathers make or what their grandfathers make or made, and it's not always the case. But it's not so easy to be a son, and that's basically my concept. And I just thought about some famous fathers and famous sons, some successful, some not. I'm not going to say who's successful. Most of these basically are successful in their own way. Hank Williams Jr., Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas, Frank Sinatra Jr. You could even go Will Smith, Jaden Smith, Martin Sheen, Charlie Sheen, Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland, Woody, and ARLO Guthrie. And that's where we're going to pick up with ARLO. Now, Woody influenced just about everyone. I would say from pop to rap, there's a folk influence that ARLO started, riding the trains. His son picked up the guitar or the torch, as we say, but influenced definitely Dylan, definitely Pete Seeger, Bruce Springsteen, Phil Oakes, Johnny Cash, Ramblin' Jack Elliott, Jerry Garcia. It goes on and on. Woody was only 55 years old when he died from Hutchinson's disease, and he was in Creedmoor State Hospital in Queens, New York, when he died in October 3rd, 1967. So, to me, 1967 is right around the corner, Summer of Love. We all know that. But to think that Woody was only 55. And if you get a chance, pick up this book, because I believe Bruce constantly refers to this. Dylan probably does. I don't really know. But Bruce talked about when he did his album, which I think is his top 3 album, among two others that I love, but Nebraska, the Stark, guitar, vocal, nothing else, a room, and that was it. And that's Bound for Glory. So what we're going to do is I'm doing, I started getting into this, and like I said, my friends went to see ARLO. I didn't get a chance to go. So the other night I'm sitting around, and I have 3 or 4, maybe more, streaming networks, streaming services. I've got cable, HBO, all that junk. and there's really nothing ever on. I usually watch musical documentaries when I get a chance, and I learn a lot about that. And a lot of it, I watch. I'll go back and play the records, listen to the records, and you learn a lot. But the other night, I'm flipping around YouTube, watching other VCers, and I said, "Let me see what if they have any live footage of Arlo's recent shows," and they did. So I was watching some clips of Arlo, and Arlo's an older guy now. He doesn't, he's got the long hair. He sits there with his guitar and his band. He's fantastic. He's natural. It's hereditary. His talent is a gift from his father, who's got the gift from God. If you read this book, Bound for Glory, you'll understand what I mean, because this guy went from having his father went from having money to being dirt poor. His mother had mental issues. He later got sick and died at only 55. So there's a pristine copy. So I go and I say, let me see Alice's Restaurant, because I don't think I've seen Alice's Restaurant for 40, 50 years. It's I remember seeing it back in the day before video, there were midnight shows where we go see Pink Floyd, Echoes, or whatever Pink Floyd film was out, Magical Mystery Tour, Beatles at Shea, Cream Farewell Concert, on and on and on. Rock, Hail Hail Rock, not Hail Hail Rock and Roll, but a rock and roll review on film, and you go there at the theater for a midnight show, and you get out of there at 2:00. Everybody's stoned. Everybody's been drinking. Give me pass that paper bag that holds the bottle instead of the popcorn. So anyway, I saw Alice's Restaurant, complete movie, and I clicked onto it. It was a pristine 4K copy. It was at least 1080p, but it was on my television. It was pristine. Okay, widescreen, great sound because I put it through the system. And then I see underneath it, which is amazing to me. It's been up for 4 years and only 25,000 views. Now, all you guys out in YouTube land know that 25,000 views, some VCers get that, some VC community YouTubers get that in a day, or in a week. They'll get 25,000 views. But Alice's Restaurant, which is a classic, and it's 20. So because no one really knows about it anymore. They know the song, but I don't think people knew it was a movie. But anyway, I had some spontaneous thoughts as I'm watching it, and I'm going to do a quick. I don't know how many words there are here, maybe a couple of hundred, but it's a couple of hundred of spontaneous thought or spontaneous extrapolations that I'm going to just blurt out. I'm going to read some of them I know. There's no script, but that will describe the movie to you, Alice's Restaurant. And I want you to watch Alice's Restaurant on YouTube. I don't do a link, but it's out there. There's a pristine copy on YouTube. Before they pull it, which I don't think they will, I'm not sure if it's copyright domain or public domain, but here's the soundtrack. Here's a really nice near mint copy of the soundtrack, some ringware. This is on UA, and you can see the credits. So I'll let that stay up for a while. Alice's Restaurant, original motion picture soundtrack. And this came out in 1969. This came out in 1967. And every Thanksgiving, I'll play this 18-minute, 20-minute or so version of Alice's Restaurant, Macri. And on here it says 1820. So Arlo Guthrie was only 20 years old in 1967. His father died that year. I'm not sure if he died prior to this record being released in 1967. I'm sure he died after this. This was, I believe, prior to August of 1967. So, but my friends out there will know, leave your comments. And there's some great notes in here. I'll show you it's a nice two-tone reprise. It's a stereo. I believe it only I don't think this was in mono, but right there. So that's the story. That's how I got to this point in this little segment. It's just a fun segment, and so we're going to go. Basically, this another touchstone on this that brought me to this video. I went from Woody to Seeger to ARLO. Spontaneous Thoughts, Alice's Restaurant, the motion picture. And we're going to start off Time Capsule. 4-part harmony, ARLO, Babyface, Bonnie and Clyde, Arthur Penn, Hippies, Snow in New York, Pillbox Hats, Stockbridge, Massachusetts, Dirt Bikes, Muddy Tires, Cigarettes in Hospitals, Flower Power, Litterbug, Acoustic Guitar, Electric Guitar, June Carter Cash, High Hair, Woody, Huntington's Disease, Color by Deluxe, Litterbugs, 27 8x10 color glossy prints, Keystone Cops, Mother Rapers, Father Stabbers, Father Rapers, Faster the Dog, Wedding Vows, Shovels, Rakes, and Implements of Destruction, Officer Obi, Shut Up Kid, Quote, Scene of the Crime, Unquote, Billboard, Keep America Beautiful, Cut Your Hair, Joy, Lee Hayes, Draft Papers, I Mean Kill, 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 Pete Seeger, Free Love, Crash Pad, 4-part harmony, 5-part harmony, Blind Judges, Junk, Garbage, Heroin, Seeing Eye Dog, Church, Dessert. Have you ever been arrested, kid? Turkey Dinner, Church Pews, Dirt Bike Racers, Guy Who Looks Like Frank Zappa, Beer, Wine, and Love Beads, Bigger Cars, Cadillac Hertz, Dreams, Inspect It, Detect It, Infect It, Pot, Ton of Garbage, Works, Army Shrinks, Bread, VW Microbus, Recruitment Officer, Not the Name of the Restaurant, Groovy, Urine Samples, Vietnam, Big Cars, Kid, What'd You Get? Joni Mitchell, Diversity, Pine Box, Long Black Limousines, Eat Dead Burnt Bodies, 1969, Men in Black Suits and Ties, Helium Voices, Family, Group W, Free Love, Electric Bass Guitar, Bang a Gong, New Root Jackets, Half a Mile from the Railroad Tracks, Mutilated Veterans, Matthew Broderick's Dad, ARLO's Dad. We're almost getting to the end, so hope you haven't dozed off yet, but I just wanted to do this. Let's see here. A couple more. And we have here, you can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant, Time Capsule. So that's basically it. My random thoughts, spontaneous thoughts. But see this movie, Alice's Restaurant. Here's the soundtrack. Woody Guthrie's son, ARLO. ARLO still strong, still touring. And here's the back cover again. This is on UA. This is an original. And once again, this classic. To think he wrote this song at, 18, 20 years old and was able to remember all the words in concert, which is fascinating. I know he doesn't do it at every show, obviously, but that's what people want. But up behind me is ARLO's Greatest Hits. So check it out. Every song is great. That's an OG. This is an OG pressing with audiophile sound. And here we have it. And again, Bound for Glory. Rest in peace, Woody. Rest in peace, Pete Seeger. Cheers. I hope you enjoy this segment. just wanted to have a little fun and watch the film on YouTube. There's also a quick 18 or 19-minute cut of the movie set to this song, Alice's Restaurant, from this album. So it's about 18 or 19 minutes long, but it comprises the movie to the album. And it's a wonderful way to watch the film. And then once you see that, after 20 minutes, if you want to go and devote an hour and a half, 2 hours, do it. The movie is spectacular. It's a time capsule. It's just, hey, Matthew Broderick's dad. That's all I have to say. And that's another one, fathers and sons. Matthew Broderick and his father, his first name, James Broderick, right here. So that's another one. It's not easy being a son, Fredo. Peace. Take care. I hope you guys like it. And keep rocking. If you get a chance, go see Arlo, buy his records, buy his music, support him. He's just, he's a treasure, just like his father was. National treasure. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sponsoring. Thanks for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and please like. We really appreciate it. Take care. Ciao. Got to get this off here. I need a producer.